where does inspiration come from when you're ready to sketch, but then you're like, wait a second, what should I work on? What should I create? And Charlie wants to say hello. Did you want to say hello, Charlie? He's really a star. He should be the star of my channel, really. Isn't that right, Charlie? Yeah, you gonna create some art? No, but he sings. He does sing. So maybe we'll do that in the future. But why I'm doing this video is because recently I'm part of Tim Packer's Art Academy. So if you haven't heard of that, you should check it out if you're really serious about becoming an artist, like as a career, as a full-time artist. If you want to paint, you want to create, and make that your income, your career, then definitely check him out because he has blown my mind and shifted how I've like seen how to create art for the commercial side of art, and that there are these two different villages, and that just kind of made so much sense to me. It's like, aha, this makes sense. So give me a bit of a kick in the pants when I watched a recent video about whether or not I am doing my daily workouts when it comes to, not physically, but well, I guess it is physical. It's creating like in a sketchbook. Am I doing my physical workouts, my daily sketching? That is the question. Are you doing your daily sketching? Are you wanting to be an artist? Well, if you're not sketching daily, then maybe you're not that serious about it. So that really had one of those moments. So as I was preparing, I was like, oh, maybe I could do some sketching. What should I sketch? And then do you ever get stuck there? Like, what do I sketch? And then you just never sketch anything because you get stuck. And maybe you even have like a prompt book and you just don't feel like really that into it. This is one of the ideas. If you haven't tried a prompt book, this is the first idea I would recommend, or it's a good place to start, is some kind of guided art book. So you can get books that are kind of a little bit more like a workbook, like back when you were in school, and you go to the first page, it tells you what to do. And so you know what to do because it's telling you what to do. So this one is Oodles of Doodles. It's pretty fun. I like that it has some quotes in it. I'll show you guys some pages. That's one recommendation if you haven't tried kind of one of these fill-in books. If you're a bit of a doodler, there's ones that are more specific for doodlers. And, well, this is Oodles of Doodles. This is doodling, but kind of like the Zentangle doodles. It kind of teaches you how to do those. And so I have enjoyed using those for sure, especially when it's not super open-ended. This one's kind of open-ended. I'll give you a show of that, but I just want to give you my kind of inspirational things to begin with. So one is maybe you need something more structured, like a workbook. You know, that is a great place to start if you need structure. Another place is just an open sketchbook, just blank sketchbook page, and then doing a challenge. I have on here a challenge that I've done of 100 heads, the 100 heads challenge. And this one I did with no eraser. I added my own difficulty onto it for some reason. And I think I did that so that I didn't get stuck in the whole, oh, trying to make every line perfect. Instead, it was like, okay, you can't erase. So now you have to work with what you're working with. So I can flip through this a little bit. Once I finished that challenge though, I kind of felt stuck, like, what should I do next? So I definitely think having, you know, a plan is really good, but you know, once you finish a challenge, trying to get onto the next challenge or trying something new, making sure that you do hit up those daily sketchbook workouts is pretty important, I guess. So the other thing is having like calendars, pictures, books that have images of things you like. So various, I have all kinds of calendars here. There are art books. So this one's a landscape painting one. So this kind of guides you through concepts of painting. So you can use books like this for drawing too. So look outside the box. You don't have to just get a drawing book to practice drawing. Find something else. So I also have these artist magazine. So I could take this front image and go with that. One fun activity you can do is take a picture and you tear it down the center or cut it down the center, glue it into a sketchbook, and then have to work around that. So that's a really fun one. That would actually be a great one to try. I would really like to do that. I haven't really done that. So those are a few ideas for feeling inspired. And another one is just finding anything around you that looks kind of interesting and start sketching it. And if it's like you're looking around, you're like, I have nothing interesting. Like I have like a lipstick sitting there. Use that as a warm up. Just start sketching, and then oftentimes when I do this, if it's something simple, I'm like, ah, that's too simple. But if you just start, then oftentimes you'll start getting a little bit more motivated to actually do something. I don't know if you've ever done this with exercise, like you are like, ah, I don't really want to exercise, but as soon as you start, you just do something, you want to keep going. Like you're like, okay, I'll just do like a 2 or 5 minute thing. And then you do 5 minutes, you're like, huh, I could keep going. Okay, so those are some of my inspiring things that hopefully will help us all get in shape with our drawing skills, because drawing is the foundation of any art. So whether you're painting or other things, and you guys can see the painting I'm working on in the background here. It's been taking me a little bit longer just with other things that are going on in my life, but that's okay. Let's get on to seeing what some of these ideas are and whether kind of help you know which one might be right for you to get on with your daily workout. So it's almost like, is Pilates for you, or is, like what is for you? So this might help you decide. Like maybe you're a Zumba person, maybe you like to go and take a class, or maybe you just like to do a self-guided workout from online, something like that. And if you're somebody that needs more guidance, you want more something to follow, then taking an art class in your community might be an option for you, especially if you have the budget for it. I find sometimes that's one of the most expensive ways, but it can be super, super valuable. So if you can, invest a little bit in that, that can be a really great option. So let's take a look at some of these sketches, and maybe we should get into an actual sketch too. We'll see. I don't want to make this video too randomized here. So what we're going to do is get the viewpoint so you can see the sketchbook and hopefully not too much mess around in my studio. Okay. Alrighty, so let's start with this Oodles of Doodles. So you can kind of get an idea if something like this is for you, if it's worthwhile. I think it's really fun. I really like the quotes in it are super fun. In art, as in life, the best way to remedy mistakes is to take advantage of them. So some things that might help inspire you along the way. So this page, so what's interesting in this book is it already has a lot of imagery in it. Like this was not blank. This was mostly colored, and then I added in some of these little things, so sometimes it's hard to tell what I added in here. So it'll have things like, fill this page with spirals. What happens when they overlap? So you're just warming up sometimes, and then create a whirlpool of color. Can you create a whirlpool of color? So this one here, draw this bird's song. So you have this was already here, and all of the line work is what I added in. So, you're starting to warm up. You're starting to think of ideas from, like in this one, it's not super guided, but it's a little bit, like it gives you some idea. So it already has a bit of an image and then has space. All this yellow background was already there. Like if I show you, I'll show you some. So here's some other ones, just random things. Some of them, I kind of like this one here. Draw a target using only squares. Okay, so they're just trying to make interesting things. And so here are some blank ones, right? So this is what this book kind of is like. Draw the day you've just had. So it already has some stuff on this side to maybe help guide you in some way, or help you then fill in the rest of the page. So whether you like that or not, there's sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. Draw your favorite book. Now, are you going to go literal on that? Or are you going to kind of take it into kind of your own figurative sense and kind of explore? Draw your favorite series. Like, are you going to draw the characters in it? Are you going to draw a scene from your favorite series? Are you going to draw the name, like the logo of it? There's so many opportunities and options with a book like this. So maybe, oh, here we go, like scribble. So some of the times it's just quite random, but this is what is already in the book. So there's something like this might be a good option for somebody that needs some guidance. I've also seen ones where it's kind of like you draw, or it has something to copy. So you're copying something that's even more guided. So this one's kind of a little path, like it gives you some guidance, but it's not draw this exact thing. It's kind of trying to dive into your creativity and your mind and exploring. So that might be fun for you, or someone you know that's looking into getting into art more, doing their daily art practice, that sketching practice that we want to do daily, that I feel like I've been reprimanded for not doing. I'm like, oh, do I take myself seriously with this? So I have already done a sketchbook tour of my 100 Heads challenge with no erasers, so I'm not going to go through the whole thing here, but I'll just quickly skim through some of it. So I did it all without an eraser, and you can see it's starting to get a little smudged because I didn't use anything to protect in between each page. But I highly recommend, if you are looking for a good challenge, that the 100 Heads challenge is a really great one to try. It had me sketching more frequently. Like, I do feel like it did help me get sketching more often. And so I think that one's a really good one to go for. And now I'm kind of thinking, like, should I try it again, but with a different medium? Or, you know, do I do 100 flowers challenge, or do I do 100, you know, just like another subject? But I was trying to work on my portraiture and that sort of thing. So once I finished it, I brought out the pens. So I was like, well, maybe I can do 100 Heads pens challenge. But I didn't really, you know, tell myself I was going to do that. I just started playing around with a pen and sketching and seeing what a pen can do, because it's quite different sketching with a pen than with a pencil. So this is a page of just kind of exploring what pens can do, different shapes. And then I was doing a little sketch, some sketches. And I started doing some heads. And some of it I thought was working pretty well. And then I got these other pens that have different colors. So you can try different things. Now, then we start getting into what is it here? So this one here's when my husband first went into hospice, and I kind of fell off the practice, like fell out of the habit. Isn't that the case when you are, you know, actually you're starting something and then life happens and then you don't continue, you just stop. You know, you're on a roll and then life happens and then you kind of stop. So it's really hard, and then getting back into it can take a long time. So I even did a sketch of him while he was in there and started writing some stuff, and then just, this is totally random in January, and then this was, look, January to April, like that is a sign of, okay, where's my drawing practice now? You know, I have been doing some other things, some painting practice in my little mini painting thingamadour here. So I have been doing some of that, but my sketching is important. And I feel like, from what Tim Packer said, that was something I really need to step up on. So let's get on with something here. So one thing you could do, what I was mentioning lastly, is finding a page. I kind of like this front page. I feel like this could be really cool. I think I might do this project where you cut it and then you glue it into your sketchbook and then you start sketching from that. So I think that's something I'm going to give a try. But having, you know, magazine images, you could even take this and cut that out and add that into a sketchbook. So there's all sorts of ideas, but don't overwhelm yourself. So I've given you kind of 3 different ideas, and I think from there you just want to choose one and get started. So let's say you have a sketchbook, grab that sketchbook, grab whatever you have nearest to you. Is it a Sharpie? Great. Take your Sharpie and do a quick sketch. If you want to pause this, you could pause this and sketch me, or like something from, like, there's YouTube channels that have like gesture, like people posed in different like things that you can, like positions for you to sketch. So that's a really good option as well. So I hope this video helps you. If you're stuck on what to draw and you're feeling uninspired, and also reminding you to kind of check in with yourself. Where am I at? And where do I want to be? So I guess if you don't know where you want to be, then it doesn't really matter where you're going or what direction you're in. But if you're kind of thinking, yeah, I really want to be an artist, that's the direction I want to go in, then look at your sketchbook and see, when was the last time that you sketched in your sketchbook? Are you doing your like push-ups, your daily push-ups? That's what I'm going to try doing, is my daily workout with my sketchbook. It's just as important to me as my push-ups. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you're gonna do in the comments. Which one is of interest to you? Are you gonna try 100 heads challenge? Have you already done it? And is there a challenge that you have loved that you recommend? And so I can do it. I want to do it. Thanks for letting me know. All right, thanks for being here. We'll see you next time, and hopefully next time I'll have this one done. Let's see. Okay, take care. Bye now.